It is Monday, January 26, 2026, and we are snowed in. But thank goodness the market is still open, so I have something to do with my life. Today I am up almost 0.5%, but you will notice that there is a second account up there at the top, and my main account is a little bit lower than usual. That's because I transferred 5,000 into a second account, using margin still, of course. If we take a look at my all-time now, it will say 45 instead of 50. So it's unfortunate that it does that on Robinhood, but once this second account gets going, I'll just transfer back that 5,000. So it is not a big deal at all. Past 1 year, these returns are a little bit different now, because obviously that principal balance is at 45 instead of 50, so it makes it look like my returns are a lot better, but still down 20% past 3 months, 2.33% year to date. The past month I am down 6%, past week I am down 0.7, so it's still not really going anywhere for me. But we have a lot to cover in this video today. Obviously, I got to go over why I opened up a second account, why I titled that Grievous, referencing Star Wars, of course, for all the Star Wars fans. And then we got to talk about this alleged Nike hack or Nike leak, whatever you want to call it. And then we got to go over how restrictive the Robinhood Gold card has been. So we got to go over that just because Robinhood is my number one position. I care about this company a lot, and I really want to see them succeed. So I also obviously am going to cover that. So a lot to get into. First thing is first, why did I open this second account? For any of you guys that don't know what Star Wars is and you've never seen the third movie, Grievous, General Grievous, he is in episode 3. And he has this lightsaber collection, right? So I decided to title this one Grievous because this is going to be like my trading account. Obviously, I already have a separate trading account, which is my E-Trade. I've referenced it for a long time now. Any of my long-term viewers, you already know what it is. But I decided to put one up here just because the user interface is a lot better. I did not transfer that 5,000 over to here. I just transferred it from my main Robinhood account into that one. So I still have the E-Trade one in the background, but I wanted to open this second one on screen for you guys just to, make my videos a little bit more interesting and also to separate it from my main account. So what is the point of this one? Well, it's basically just to collect wins, to collect assets, make short-term trades, quick profits here and there. And we're just going to see how I do. All right, it's going to be very small, only 5,000. And once it grows, gets bigger, I'm going to transfer that 5,000 back into my main one just to plug that hole back in, just because I'm autistic. But I decided to start it right now because it's earnings season. There's a lot of plays that I want to make. So that's why I opened it right now. And one of the great things about Robinhood, though, is that they are paying interest on this cash, even though I still have margin. So that's one of the great things about Robinhood. The first play that I actually want to make is UNH. So UNH, I think it could tag 400 in the short term. Obviously after earnings, it does report tomorrow, I believe. It could still go down. It could go down to 330, whatever. But I think it's worth playing a little bit. So let's do this. The spread's a little weird. But yeah, let's just do one for now. Wrong account, my bad. So we've got the first trade of that one. I hate how even with like very small changes to an account that just got opened up, it looks super dramatic on Robinhood. Like this one, it's only down 27 cents or 30 cents because of the trade that I just made, the very first trade. And Robinhood just wants to make it seem like super dramatic. That's one of the things that I wish Robinhood did differently. You know, if it's not a big drop, like a 0.01% drop, like just make this a lot smaller. You know, it doesn't have to take up the whole screen. But anyways, just me being nitpicky, of course. I was thinking about playing Seagate as well, but Seagate has gone up so much, and it's up even more again today, over 4%. So I think I'm just gonna let that one cool off. I might play Invesco in that second account. Maybe Meta. What else? Levi's, I definitely am considering playing in that account. So that is one. And Amazon is another one that I want to play. Also Apple. So I still have to keep a lot of cash in that one for reserves, just to play all these other stocks. And of course, next month, it's going to be even crazier. Well, not as crazy. Most of big tech is reporting this month, but then next month we do have some big earnings coming up, like Disney, Palantir, of course, PayPal. We got Google reporting. We've got CME, ICE, SIBO, a lot of fintech, Robinhood, Spotify. So decent amount reporting next month. So I want to definitely keep some cash. I just wanted to go ahead and place that first trade on UNH just to see how it goes. But yeah, another one that I am highly considering making, I don't know if I want a trade or to actually invest in this company, but GameStop is another company that has seen a lot of insider buying. So, you know, some other examples are like Nike, right? We have the CEO of Nike buying stock, and then we have other insiders like Tim Cook, CEO of Apple. He's buying Nike stock. So I was looking for some other stocks that have a lot of insiders buying, and apparently GameStop has a lot of insider buying going on. So it's definitely one that I am looking at. And I know one of you guys did also mention it in the comments. So I am eyeing it. Now we're going to go over this alleged Nike leak. So I saw Elliot Page. He is the fashion, like shoe industry influencer. He's the YouTuber that I reacted to in a lot of my overnight sessions. And he was reporting before any of like these other financial people, which was kind of surprising that Nike is going through this leak where apparently a lot of blueprints for their products like shoes, upcoming Nike techs, just a lot of things like their manufacturing process of how to make these shoes were allegedly leaked. You know, it sounds bad, but I honestly don't think it's that big of a deal. And I gave some reasons here on X. Number one is Nike fakes have been around forever. If any of you guys have traveled anywhere, right, you know Nike fakes exist. Not even travel, like here in the United States, we still have that issue of people copying Nike shoes, creating fakes, or I don't know if you guys remember, but we had that train robbery, you know, like it's the Wild West or something, and they just wanted to steal Nike shoes or something like that. So, you know, Nike products are just in high demand. You know, anytime you have a product that's in high demand, you're gonna have copycats, you're gonna have counterfeits. So, but anyways, Nike fakes have been around for forever, and let's be honest, the types of people that buy Nike fakes are usually lower class, right? Because they can't afford to actually buy it on the app or in store. So I still think upper middle class customers will be buying Nike products either on the app or in the actual Nike stores in the malls. And if it actually is a really big leak, all those products that got leaked, they can just create a new patch, right, to put on each product, which would turn it into almost like a collector's item, right? Because it would be like this brief moment in Nike's history where they got hacked, so they have to put this patch on all their products to show that it's legit, and that patch becomes a collector's item and it increases the value. So it would increase the demand possibly. So I don't think it's a complete negative. There's a lot of good that could also come with this, of course. Now I also had this other post on X talking about how The Robinhood Gold Card doesn't support rent payments or the PayPal Pay in 4, which is highly disappointing because literally every other credit card I have supports PayPal. But not even with just PayPal, I've also noticed in person at certain stores, whenever I would try to use my physical gold card, it would just get declined, almost like, this Robinhood Gold Card is what American Express was a few years ago, right? I remember when a lot of stores were declining American Express cards because the fees are a little bit higher. But now I think most stores, American Express has definitely made efforts to make their cards more accessible. I haven't come across that issue too often. I would say for the most part, anywhere I go, they accept American Express now, which is a good thing. But I've also noticed that stores that accept American Express, they don't accept the Robinhood Gold Card. So I think that's a little bit weird. I'm a little disappointed because, like I said, even my super old credit cards with big banks that are not as innovative as Robinhood, they still allow it. Like, for example, Bank of America. I used to have Bank of America when I was younger. It was my first account. My parents helped me get it. So my first, bank account was with Bank of America. I don't have it anymore, but even with them, I had no issues using it for PayPal, PayPal Pay in 4, etc. But for some reason, I have that issue with Robinhood. So I just think Robinhood should allow it. I know it's probably not profitable to support rent payments or PayPal Pay in 4, but if every other bank is doing it, and Robinhood's margins, I assume, are much higher than big banks. So eventually we'll be able to cover it. So it is something that I want them to at least keep it in their minds, or as we become more and more profitable, generate more cash flow, just allow that feature. And as for your guys' comments, I have quite a bit of very long and thorough ones, which is always good to see. I honestly like these really long comments more than the super short ones, but we have 3K investments saying, I'm only 30 seconds into the video, but man, I'm so excited for Nike in the future. You have no clue. Nike under 100 is a deal. Not sure if you're into weekly paying dividends, but blocks, tracks Bitcoin and pays out based off Bitcoin. And it's at 20 a share right now. I'm sure on Bitcoin's next leg up, blocks is going to 50 plus, pay nice dividends. Also excited about Netflix under 100. Honestly, you can do what you want, but I don't like these like weekly paying covered call option premium income type of ETFs. The only income I'm really interested in is like dividends, like rent payment, etc. And when it comes to covered calls and option premium income, I prefer to actually do it myself, right? Managing it myself. So if I did want covered call premiums off of Bitcoin, I would just buy an ETF and then sell covered calls myself. But you can do what you want to do. But I also do have Nike, of course, and Netflix. So we have some things in common. And we have an OG of the channel, A. Carl, saying, dude, nobody expects you to be perfect. My friend, the appeal of your channel is that you show different stocks, winners and losers. The fact that you held on to Robinhood this long and have an amazing return is awesome. I appreciate the kind words. And yeah, sometimes I do pick the same stocks as others, mostly because if there's a good deal, I'm not going to be the only one that notices it. But I also try to look for things that aren't really covered as much. During the short squeeze with Kohl's and American Eagle, it was talked about a little bit in the media. I still wanted to cover it because I didn't think it was talked about as much. Another example is REPX. It's just a very obscure stock that I have. But you also commented, not financial advice, obviously, but I fully agree with you getting rid of the deep in the money covered call on Palantir. At this point, you might as well own the stock. The benefit is you'll clear up some margin and be ready for new opportunities arise. And definitely, I agree with that. That is my plan. I'm going to get rid of that 100 strike on Palantir. If I continue to roll it, I think the yield on my option premium is still around 7%. So it's not the worst. But at the same time, it might be better off for me to just take that loss. It's not a loss, but it is at the same time, if that makes any sense. It might be better for me to just take that 10 grand, leave it in my buying power, and then just be open to new opportunities. And at the end of the day, I still have 100 shares left, even after that lot gets called away. And it's at the 165 strike. I could easily roll that out to 175 if I wanted to. And most likely I will still keep those 100 shares because I'm not expecting Palantir to go up another 1,000%. So that is my plan. I'm going to keep my 165 strike and then get rid of my 100 strike.